Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Trump's base is super stoked about his address today in Switzerland, the land of the bankers and the Templars. His address to the World Economic Forum, where he demanded lower interest rates and lower oil prices. And again, of course, the World Economic Forum is run by his Jesuit-educated buddy, Klaus Schwab, just like Trump is Jesuit-educated himself, having gone to Fordham. And again, I don't really care what Trump said today at the World Economic Forum. I'm still waiting for the apology for what he did on January 21st, 2020 at the World Economic Forum. And it's because the American people don't know what he did that day that they even thought about voting for this chump. Again, you guys, go back to the end of 2019 and 2020, major events that the mainstream media still hasn't covered to this day, where Donald Trump's been in the spotlight the whole time. They let this one slip through the cracks and gave it no focus. Remember, October 18th, 2019, the World Economic Forum simulated the coronavirus pandemic with Event 201. Again, 201 is a very special number to the Jesuits. Part of the reason Trump buried his ex-wife on the 201st day of the year after she died exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year on the same day he said he'd run in the 60th election. But anyway, Event 201 was simulated. It was the World Economic Forum along with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the CDCs from China and the U.S. and a few of the major vaccine companies and big banks. Again, simulating this pandemic that would last 18 months that would change the world. And that was done the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China. And then, of course, shortly after that, the pandemic began in China. And on the day that the first case outside of China was confirmed in the world in Seattle, Washington, in Bill Gates' backyard in the land of the world's biggest needle, the Space Needle, right across the street from his foundation, that was January 21st, 2020. On that same day, the chump was at the World Economic Forum gloating about his trade deal with China, like it's some kind of coincidence. And remember, they said that case arrived on January 15th, but was confirmed on the 21st. Trump signed off on his trade deal with China January 15th, and he called it the China virus. And then again, you add in the Gematria piece, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. Trump just happened to be speaking in Davos January 21st, 2020, the 222nd day of his age, 222, like how in Gematria, World Economic Forum equals 222, Wuhan coronavirus equals 222, order out of chaos equals 222. And don't forget they made Trump part of the festivities on September 11th, 2001, because that day, the day of that tragedy with the 19 hijackers, was exactly 222 months before the pandemic was declared on March 11th, 2020. New York equals 222, and that's also where the Event 201 simulation is. So yeah, all this praise for Trump today at the World Economic Forum. You guys, this is the same stooge and puppet on strings that was installed in 2016 and reinstalled in 2024, as we called both times, way before it happened. And again, this is the guy trying to get street cred through these little, meaningless showings. But who you really have to know who this man is the puppet on strings where everything's orchestrated by the numbers. And by the way, if you haven't read my book, Number Games, that came out in 2020, I talked about this address and how he spoke at 11:47 a.m. sharp. Again, 47 minutes after the hour. Part of the reason we said years ago why he'd return likely as number 47. Of course, in Gematria, Trump equals 47. And just for the record, Davos, Switzerland equals Donald John Trump. These things aren't an accident. Remember, his daddy was born in Bavaria, or his grandfather, actually, where the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And Klaus Schwab's from the same region. We'll leave it there for now. And until next time, Truth Seeker.